Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel Vardi Vartika. This is Vartika again and I am back with the last video on user defined functions in Python. In this video we are going to cover the topic scope of the variable, lifetime of the variable. All these things we are going to cover in this video. So starting with what is the scope of a variable? See, scope of the variable means the area in the program within which a particular variable is accessible. Basically, there are two types of scope, global scope and local scope. Now let us understand what is a global scope and what is a local scope. Starting with a global scope. See, a variable is said to have a global scope if that variable is created outside all functions. That means in the top level statement of the program. And what are the top level statements? Those statements which are not indented or the statements which are not the part of any block. Now what is a local scope? The variables which are defined within a block or within a function, they are known as your variables with local scope. Now let us see with an example. Here is a function sum. Now this function is taking two variables, two parameters x and y, and it is also creating a variable within its body with the name z. Now this function is called from the main program, and in the main program you will see that there are three variables n1, n2 and n3. Right? Now in this program, what are the local variables? Local variables are x, y and z. This x, y and z, these are your local variables. That means the parameter names are considered to be the local variables. Now what are the global variables? The global variables are these variables n1, n2, n3, which are not the part of any function. Right? See, this is the output of this program. It's a very simple program which is displaying the sum of two numbers. Now, whenever in a program system encounters any variable, it tries to find out its scope. And how does it resolve that? Whenever a variable is accessed within a program, Python follows a rule that is known as LEGB rule. This is known as the name resolution rule. Now what does L stands for? L stands for local environment, E for enclosing environment, G for global environment and B for built-in environment. Right? When Python does not find any variable in any of the environment, then it flashes an error. Now you very well know what is a local environment. That means within any function or any block. Global environment means which is outside all function. Now enclosing environment means enclosing environment comes into effect when we are dealing with the nested functions. Now nested function means for the inner function, outer function body is considered the enclosing environment. And built-in environment means when a variable is defined in the some of the Python library. Okay. Now let us understand it with the help of this example. See, here is a function, outer function with the name outer. Then we have a function inner with the name inner. Now as you can see, for the outer function, this a variable is your local variable. Now for inner function, the variable b is considered to be a local variable. Now what is a global variable? Global variable is this x, which is defined outside all function. Now when we talk about the variables which are accessible in the function outer, in this function, outer function, which variable will be accessible? First, its local variable a and the global variable x. If we talk about the variables which are accessible in the function inner, now in the inner function, this local variable b is accessible this variable, global variable, is accessible, and also this variable a is accessible, which is called the enclosing variable, enclosing environment. For the inner function, outer function body is considered to be the enclosing environment. So the variable in the enclosing environment is also accessible inside inner function, right? Now the variable which is accessed inside main, in the main function only the global variables are accessible. Now in the previous example you have seen that there were global variables also, there were local variables also, and global variable can be accessed from within any of the function also. But here we have considered both the variables have different names. If suppose we have a global variable as well as a local variable with different with same name. Previously we were having the local variable and the global variable with different names. But now let's suppose we have a program in which the local variable as well as the global variable both have the same name. Then what will happen? If suppose within a function or within a block there is a local variable also accessible and there is also a global variable accessible and both are having the same name, then always remember the local variable will hide the global variable. Let us understand. Here I have taken a function ABC, and inside this function I have created a variable x, and x is also a global variable. See, this x is your global variable, and inside this function when I assigned the value to the variable x, it did not assign the value to this local variable, but it created another variable x with the same name and it assigned the value 20 to it. So in this program we are having two variables named x, one in the global environment and another in the local environment. So inside this function, when you display this x, then which value will be displayed? The value of this local variable. Why? Because inside this function, this local variable has hidden this global variable. Now when you display x over here, now what variable will it display? It will display this global variable. See, this is your local variable and this is your global variable. And when you display the output of this code, you can see inside the function local variable is displayed and outside global variable is displayed. Now, as I have told you that in the function, when you assign a value to any of the variable, that variable is created, right? Here you can see I have written the statement x is equal to x plus 10. Here x is a global variable, and the moment I have written this statement, that means I am now creating a local variable x, right? Now the system Python interpreter will understand that a new local variable is there. Now it is not going to use the global variable inside this function in any of the statement. So the moment you have written this statement is run, it will provide you an error. Why? Because in this function you are about to create a local variable. However, this creation is still not complete, but you are about to create this variable, so you cannot use that variable without creation. See the error it has given. X is referenced before assignment. As you can see over here, the last line error is local variable x referenced before assignment. And in which line it is giving? It is giving error in this line. Okay, if I would not have written this line, then also the error would have come, and for which line? This x plus. Here also you are using the variable without creating it. Okay. Now let's suppose I want to modify the global variable inside the function without creating local variable. Till now what was happening? The moment you were modifying the value of the global variable inside a function, it was actually creating a local variable. Now if I do not want to create the local variable inside the function with the same name as the global variable, what we are going to do, we are going to use a function, use a keyword global. See, this is an example. Same example I have taken, but now I have written a line global global x. Now what is happening? Now it will not create any local variable with the name x inside this function. Wherever you will mention x, it will refer to the global variable. So now when you run this program, you will see the global variable x, the statement, this statement is giving this output 5. That means which value it is using? The global variable value. After that, you have modified the value of global variable. You have incremented it with 10. Now the resultant value is 15. See, you have modified the value of the global variable from inside the function. Next, let's suppose I want to access the global variable also and the local variable also from inside the function, and both the variables are having the same name. So again, the same code is written. Here a local variable is created. Now whenever I will mention x, it will refer to this local variable. Now how will I use this x? So I am going to use this globals function. I am writing globals parenthesis, and within a square bracket I write the name of the global variable within quotation mark. So this is how you can access a global variable from inside a function if this function already contains a local variable with the same name. See, this is the output. Next is, if you want to use the variable in the enclosing environment. The variable in the enclosing environment is having the same name as the variable in the local environment. So if you want to, till now you have seen, if you want to use the global variable inside the function which is having the same name as the local variable, so you use the word global. But now if you want to use the variable in the enclosing environment having the same name as the local variable, then you are going to use a keyword non-local. See over here, I have used the word non-local x. So here when you write x is equal to non-local, it is not creating any new local variable, but it is referring to this enclosing environment variable, right? Now when you display this inner x, it is going to display non-local, and see the output. For inner also it has changed the value, and for outer also it has changed the value, because through non-local we have restricted the creation of local variable. Okay. Now coming up to what is a lifetime of a variable. Now the lifetime of the variable means the time period for which a variable remains in memory. For global variable, the lifetime is the entire program run. Till the program is running, that global variable remains in memory. But for the local variable, the lifetime is the function run. Till the time that function is running, the variable will remain in existence, and the moment function execution stops, the variable is deleted from memory. Coming up to the mutability and immutability of arguments of parameters and function call. See, whenever you pass any argument to a function, whether the function will be able to change the value of that argument or not will depend upon whether the argument is mutable or immutable. If you pass an immutable argument to a function, then the changes done inside the function will not be reflected back to the arguments in the main program. Let's see the example. See, this is a function change. It is accepting a parameter x. Now, I have created a global variable d which is having the value 10. Now, d is your immutable variable. because integers are considered to be immutable. I have passed this immutable variable inside the function as an argument. So if I change the value of this variable x, now this change will not be reflected in the variable d. Why? Because d is immutable. See, this is an output. The value of x is changed, but the value of d is not changed. But however, if you pass the argument which is mutable, then if you make any changes in that argument, that will be reflected in the main program. See, this is an example. Here I have taken a list and I have passed this list to the function, and we know that list is mutable. So when inside the function I change the value of this list, then that result will be reflected in the main list also. See, original list was 1, 2, 3, 4. I have modified the first index value with 30, and when I printed m, this is what m is printed, and when I printed p has also changed, right? The reason is the argument is mutable. But there is one point you have to remember. Even if the argument is mutable and you are completely reinitializing it, let's see, I have passed the same list, but here I have changed the value of this list. I have not changed one single element of the list, but I have completely changed that list. I have reinitialized this variable with a new list. So now the changes done over here are not reflected over here. See, m list has now become what? 3067, because I have reinitialized it, but the p list is still the same, right? Because now I have reinitialized m to some other list which is at some other memory location, while p is still pointing to that particular location. So with this we come to the end of this video, and we have completed with all the concepts of user defined functions. So if you have not subscribed my channel till now, quickly subscribe it, because I will be moving on with the new topic in Python. For now, thank you and bye bye.